All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe, and I hate to say it, but I've recently been kicked in the dyno sheets. So, if you're unaware, a buddy of mine, Tim at 318 Wheel Run, is building he's essentially putting a stock 440 into his old farm truck that he found, and he turned into a drag truck. Right now, the truck has a basically stock bottom end Magnum 360 that he is low budgeted to the max to get it down the quarter mile into the 12s. So that truck has a 430 gear, I think an upgraded cam, headers, 750 double pumper on a Chinese air gap intake kind of deal. Anyway, so that's coming out. The 440 is going in. A lot of people are sending him dyno sheets and results from stock 440 engines.
You follow people who dyno engines, and here's the thing though, only a few people out there on all this YouTube crave, there's only a few of them that dyno engines and actually put them in the vehicle and let them go down the track. At least in my small Mopar community. There might be a ton of channels out there doing it, and I apologize if you're doing it nonstop and I'm not seeing it. But what I find out, whether it be on YouTube or in real life or in a magazine, the dyno generally doesn't show up at the track.
Jump in his mind was to my little lunch break truck here. Here it is making a pass. And I have stated in the past, I put my 500 horsepower 406, it's a 30 over 400. That was machined at Ed's Machine. So we did the whole build up that engine. The engine itself made 534 horsepower, I think, and 535 torque or something like that. All under 6,000 RPM. It was basically done then. So nice, street, reliable setup for basically for a street car at the time. As soon as that engine got back, as it was, it's changed now. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me show you those dyno sheets. As soon as it got back, I put it into my purple 68 Barracuda. And here it is making one of its first passes ever in that car. This was March of that year. I want to say it was 2023, somewhere in there. There was a fair number of cars, probably 20 or 22. At this little track, you can buy back first and second round, I believe. So they're basically just time trials for you. This was my fastest pass of the day, pass number 2. I'm in the right lane. So if we go back to my car, that 534 horse that it made on the dyno in perfect conditions, corrected. We compare that to what it actually did in real life, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the ticket you just saw there of it running, that was, I want to say that was probably the fastest pass before I pulled the engine a couple months later. Nice and cool outside, everything was happy. 698 at 98.5 miles per hour. So you take and plug that in, so plug it into the bench racer, calculate 475 horsepower if you use the car's weight and mile per hour. That's kind of what Tim was referencing in relation to my blue truck here. If you use the car's weight and ET, then you get 496 horsepower. I think that's probably closer. I still believe I've got a little 500 horse engine here. But again, I swapped heads on this engine before it ever went into this truck. Let's talk a little bit about efficiency, and then I will show you how the dyno can be dead nuts on and an awesome tool to tune before you hit the racetrack. So a lot of people realize everything you bolt onto this engine, like that alternator, pulls a little bit of power, right? So as this is charging going down the racetrack, it loses a little bit of power. This is my 512 in here now. Something else for efficiency. This big drag slick, whenever it takes off, has to curl all the way up and wrinkle and then move the car, okay? The bigger the tire, the more power you're losing, right? Most people agree with that. It takes more effort to turn a large tire than it does a small tire. Another good thing, remember I've got the John Cope 727 SFI approved case in this car. and all of his internal stuff. It takes power to turn a 727. And the old blue truck here, so we're now moving back even further. Remember, this car has ladder bars, so when it leaves, after that wrinkle's done, it goes, okay? Blue truck, there's our old homemade slapper bar. See those old springs there? So now we've got a tire wrinkling up, a spring that's flexing till the ladder bar hits, the rubber on the ladder bar compresses, the whole entire truck twists and flexes, then it moves. So it's night and day difference watching these two vehicles leave, okay? So if I get to my 500 horse on this thing, and I bolt my water pump and my alternator to it, call that 10 or 15, we're probably down to 475 horse or something there. On and on, everything adds up. But don't forget wind resistance. This is like, you know, pushing a truck down the road. Aerodynamics, it's not a lot happening here. That car should be better. But here's that beautiful example of having perfect traction on the sticky glue trap racetrack, on a drag radial with a power glide, and the optimized converter and combination. Now let's see a dyno sheet. This is my buddy Michael Yielding's 1,143 horsepower on the same dyno that I use at Kuntz & Company in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. And let's see his time slip. Best time slip with that engine in the car. 492 at 138.96 mile per hour. All right. But I messaged him, I said, hey man, what's your car weigh? So he sent it without him in it and with him in it. So we'll have the total weight with him in it, 2,657 pounds. Now let's go back to our bench racer calculator. Wallace, if you put in the car's weight and ET, they say 1,176 horsepower. So they're guessing it more than it actually was on the dyno, the corrected on the dyno, okay? You'll see that on top of a sheet, corrected for 1,143 horsepower. If we use the car's weight and mile per hour, they guess it as 1,107.96. So which would you like? What's your preference? It's up in the air. Again, it's a great tool for playing around, that sort of thing, but real life conditions, you never know what you're gonna get. If traction's your issue and your car won't leave, or if you got a big, heavy, slow truck, there's always ways to improve it. There's trucks out there running a lot faster than this with a lot less engine than this, but it's just my combination right now. I said all that to say, I appreciate Tim thinking of me in his video. I like the dyno personally, especially for engines that I'm building for other people, since I do that a lot now. We tested on the dyno, we know it lives, we know it works, everything's great. Then I can hand it off and say, this is a good, nice running engine. And hopefully there's no failures beyond that. Because if someone takes an engine home and turns the distributor to 55 degrees and puts it to the floor and blows it up in their yard, that's probably not my fault. So let me know what y'all think about the dyno versus ET slip debacle here. I think I'm pretty close on mine. I will tell you that the 512 that went away and came back and went away again, it has been down the racetrack, down a no prep deal. We got some numbers for it coming up soon. I want to get some more good footage of it before I present it to you, but everything's looking great there. And if you want to see a fast car, check out Michael Yielding's channel. It's a 572 Hemi with dual dominators. And he's now into the Fords with that car, so maybe some are faster than others, I don't know. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.